Escape to the metaverse. Better act like you know. Yeah. You are now tuned into the Matthew and Rizzle show. Yeah. Escape to the metaverse. Better act like you know. You are now tuned into the Matthew and Rizzle show. Yeah. Escape to the metaverse. Better act like you know. You are now tuned into the Matthew and Rizzle show. Yeah. Escape to the metaverse. Better act like you know. You are now tuned into the Matthew and Rizzle show. Yeah.
What if you only talked heading forward in like little Discord beeping sounds? That would be epic. Like never ever talk in a human voice again, just robot emote. Oh, it's too early. I found that far too funny. I'm sorry about that, Dragon. Yeah. Like dun 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 dun. But you should actually make that like your voice. Don't do that. Your voice is far too good for it to be eliminated. Where the hell is Rizzle? There he's coming. Thank you for remuting. All right, this is going to be super quick. I have a call I got to jump to at the half-hour mark. Let's see what we can get in. There we go.
Check. Hang on, let me Bluetooth in. All right, I think you're good. Can you hear me?
I got you. Bluetooth missed such a marketing opportunity. It should be like it'd be great if you had like a Bluetooth like tooth cap that you could put on and just glows when you're like hooked in, like the bone. I know,
right.
I'm going too deep. Yeah, like those headphones where you put it's like you put over your ears and it's just like the sound goes through your bones or whatever.
Yeah,
that with like a tooth cap. Anyway, neither here nor there. What's up, dude?
It's cracking, man. We're gonna how long we got for this turbo episode?
We got 13 minutes and 69 seconds.
All right, let's crank it out, man. What's good in Web3? You did important things, and we got Whipsgiving coming up tomorrow, and then we take a week off and everything, and it should be a big fucking deal. So, but you had a big update with your project, man, that deserves some space. So, talk to us about what's going on.
Yeah, yesterday, Cam and we did a little coin merging and upgrading. Crypto is a forever sport. And you put something on chain, whether it's a token, NFT project, those things are there forever, right? And especially like over in Purple Land and Farcaster Land, if you put out an app, usually it has a coin associated with it. And as we're apt to do, Cameron and I were serial experimenters. So we put out like a shit ton of different app coins over the past year and a half, especially. And it's been amazing. Great way to get signal, learned a lot, know exactly what we're laser focused on, but having just multiple token projects for us makes it unwieldy, like what to support when, and also especially for folks that want to support. What token do they get? Do they get a tipping token? Do they get a refi token? Do they get a launcher token? Just, it's confusing on all fronts. So we came up with a solution, a new protocol that we call Upgrader, where you can designate what tokens, like for us, it was just tipping and launcher, the two major tokens with liquidity that folks can deposit in mass, and then at a time in the future, trigger a joint single transaction sell and buy into a newly launched token. So pretty simple, but pretty powerful mechanism that we used to upgrade to what we're calling a company coin. The ticker is OINC, OINC, short for On-Chain Inc., which is actually the name of our incorporated entity. But that single OINC token will now be integrated through Tippin, Launcher, Rebase, any other future project or app that we launch heading forward will be powered by this single company token. And then like we've been focused on rev share, right? So all of our projects generate fees that we route back to token holders via staking. So now it's a single token that will take all of the different fee streams, and have that extra like yield added benefit. So that's what we did yesterday. NFA, DYOR, all those caveats aside, but we're incredibly excited to have a single token to service for all of our apps to just maximize all the value to the holders and users and lean into all the fun stuff again. And also very excited to support other token projects out there who may be feeling like their tokenomics maybe not optimal. You know, a lot of these coin launchers in the early days especially had unfavorable LP arrangements. Oftentimes there was no like dev or like launcher treasury allocated to token launchers. So there's significant issues on the tokenomic front, just from like a product viability standpoint. So upgrading allows folks to get their token right, so to speak. They can allocate themselves a treasury, they can create fee pools, they can do a bunch of stuff with their products. So excited to help other token projects get their tokens right.
Well, help me, man. So I'm gonna dumb down your projects very for people who aren't familiar, at least the ones that I'm familiar with, and then I'm hoping you can dumb down what I need to do from this point forward, right? So you all have this project, Rebase. Wait, am I saying that right? It's Rebase, correct? I use this.
Yeah, one of the projects Rebase. Yep.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So right. So I use Rebase, right, and I hold some of the is it refi? Forgive me, man. I'm like slipping on all these tokens. I hold some of the refi token, right, and I have like I have that staked, and it's a sophisticated liquidity pool to make a long story short, right? And there's like a bunch of different other tokens in Rebase that you can also add liquidity to, but there's like another nuance to it where it's not just like you're adding liquidity on Uniswap. You're actually like taking that liquidity token and rewrapping that token again, and it's you're getting all this shit. So anyway, sophisticated liquidity pool, and it has a coin associated with it that if you stake that coin, you get a little bit of all the other coins that are coming through that liquidity pool too as they pop up. And so cool. So I have that token, the refi token, and over time I've like gotten some exposure to all these other random coins that have popped up on there. And I'm like, cool, it's an interesting experiment. And I have some I'm dropping his name, man. He's very passionate about his coin, the stable AI, the unstable ticker. And
yeah.
Right. I got some liquidity staked on that, and I don't NFA DYOR, and I don't want anyone to think I'm like throwing like, a shitload of funds around. I'm sort of like a DeFi nerd. Like I like to know how this stuff works. I like tinkering around with it. And some of these coins have more longevity than others. Anyway, that's that. And so then you got Tippin, right? Tippin's like pretty much lives exclusively on Farcaster, and you can throw pennies at people online, and in exchange for doing that, you get some of the native currency back, and that's how Tippin works in a very simplified nutshell or whatever. So now those are like the two main projects of yours that I'm familiar with that I know are somehow getting rolled into this Oink coin. But I did all the things, right? I saw Cameron yelling at people on Farcaster, so I like unstaked my Tippin and I put it in the fucking other app that he made, and I got the Oink and I staked the Oink. But what does, from like a layman's perspective, you just know as much as I know about this shit, even though I know more, but I'm dumbing it down. But like, what does the casual user need to do from this point forward in order to understand how this works in those frameworks?
So the key thing with Oink is you stake it and then you start earning Clanker and USD fees, right? So over the next 90 days, $1,000 in Clanker are going out to stakers, and then the USDC fees from Tippin will be turned on and flowing to Oink stakers. It's a rev share token.
Gotcha.
That's at its base. So you can stake an upgrader. Staking will be added back into Tippin. So folks can stake natively right through there and earn in all the places. The staking pool is the same. We're just going to have UIs across the different apps. I'm not sure if this will work out, but if it does, the Rebase example, instead of having a refi token for that, if folks have their Oink staked and people launch new LP staking campaigns on Rebase, then the 5% fee that we take from all of those newly launched projects flow down to Oink stakers, right? For the example of Firestore, like a token launch pad for like crowdfunding liquidity before a token launch. If that happens and we have a fee, like 1% of like 100 ETH token launch, then 1 ETH gets distributed to Oink stakers, right? So all the different apps will collect fees in their different unique ways, right? all of those fees flow directly to Oink stakers. And folks can stake Oink in many different places, in many apps of ours, right? So that's sort of like the TLDR. Apps that do things have very specific purposes, take a little bit of a fee, route the fee to the Oink stakers. Boom.
So the refi token specifically, does that get nuked or that remains intact? And this is just like a new mechanism on top of that?
There is an airdrop coming for refi stakers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So the reason why refi wasn't included in the upgrade or deposit is because there's barely any liquidity behind refi, right? It's very much just a utility token. Like there wasn't a market established for it. It was an early experiment. So it did make sense for them to throw their refi away and then get like basically next to nothing. The way the upgrader worked was it for Tippin, there's a lot of liquidity locked in there. When that was sold, that ETH was used to buy the new Oink token. Same thing for Launcher, but with a significantly lower amount of liquidity behind it. So in that respect, it didn't make sense. It wouldn't have been fair to the early like rebase supporters to just like nuke the refi like that. So we'll be doing a nice airdrop for those folks to get the small group of early supporters to get a nice Wink stimmy. Yeah. So you're here for it first. That should be going out today or tomorrow. So yeah.
Oh shit!
Don't sell your refi, dude.
No, I'm one of those people, man. And again, man, I've had a stake the whole time. I don't know. I appreciate the tokenomics experiments, man, and you know where I'm at overall with my attitude towards the space right now. Like everything just feels like we are quite literally rerunning the 2022 playbook on Farcaster in real time. They just drop loot again. It's like all the fucking failed experiments and dumb shit and like projects that went nowhere and everything. I mean, calling loot a failed experiment is like, I don't know, probably overstepping a little bit, but like we're literally rerunning, the playbook. So to see y'all doing interesting shit, man, it makes my Web3 heart happy that fucking people are actually trying to push the ball forward and do interesting things, man. And you're not abandoning projects, you're tying them together. And that is something that I feel like is a lost art out here in Web3, where everyone's just fucking hopping from one thing to another, and reputation means like almost nothing if you just like give up on something or whatever. And it means something to me at least, man. So I appreciate what y'all are doing here. We got a couple minutes left, man. We should scratch on the whip. We should talk quickly about the whip last week, especially with Avagachi and Lapping Minion coming on. But also, this is a big event coming up on Thursday. So, I don't know, start it off, dude.
Dude, I'm just so excited for Whipsgiving. It's like we have a lot of whip traditions, but this is probably my favorite just because we always open up the mic to everyone that's present to jump on, to give thanks for like the whip fam, the whip, like whomever, just an easy, unforced way to do that with the backdrop of like this crazy metaverse, fucking weird as hell Thanksgiving Day parade going on. Shout out Paradox for getting that whipped up. Shout out to Jin Dank VR and crew back in the day for kicking that weird portion of Whipsgiving off. So if anyone's around, I think we'll get this pod out before Whipsgiving and you're listening to this, make sure you show up to the Whip, 12 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a fun Whipsgiving before we go off on a holiday break. So yeah, I just can't wait for that personally.
Yeah, it's so funny. Paradox is like, do y'all actually do that in the US? Like sit around the table and like give thanks for things and everything? And I never did, man, as a kid or anything. That was like never really part of my Thanksgiving tradition or whatever, even though it seems like it should be or whatever. So I'm like, nah, but like this is it for me, man. This is the true spirit of US Thanksgiving coming through the metaverse, and no geographic location necessary. But shout out Paradox. You put a lot of work into this parcel. There's like all types of shit going on for Whipsgiving. So yeah, come through.
Boom. All right, I got a dip.
Good, dude.
On that note, I got a dip. Well, we got it in short and sweet.
Go stake some oink, man, and send some my way for the refi.
Oh yeah, man. Get ready. All right, dude. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Later, man.
Later, Drago. Later, Dragon Nate's mom.